Happy New Year, guys. Hello. Once again, you all are welcome to the Lifestyle Show here on What TV. Happy New Year. Happy 2025 to everybody. The Lifestyle Show wants to say a very big thank you to all our fans out there for your consistency and for your support, for your love. Thank you all very much for our amazing followers. Thank you all very much for joining us again today. So you all are once again welcome to the Lifestyle Show here on What TV. I still remain your girl EJ and the host for the show. Today we'll be talking about a very interesting topic. Actually, it is tolerance in workplace beneficial or is it harmful? And we'll be looking into this very interesting topic with two lovely people, very familiar faces. Okay, so one of them is a boss. In fact, two of them are bosses, in fact. So we'll begin with the boss lady herself, Mrs. Ju. Hello, ma. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. And you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for joining us today.
It's fine.
Would you mind introducing yourself?
Okay.
It's a new year. Exactly. Let's do it.
Okay. So my name is Ujuma Juliet Cosmos. I'm an entrepreneur, an actress, and also I'm a nurse practitioner.
Amazing. Thank you for joining us. Mrs. Ju is a very constant face here. She has started again this year. You guys will see her more often. And then we have our boss himself, Mr. Jerry Etonam, the Togo of them. He's actually the producer for the Lifestyle Show. So how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. You don't have to give me all the time. But I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Well, I always keep it simple and short. So my name is Jerry Etonam Atiogbe.
Right.
I'm a journalist, producer, and media specialist.
Amazing. Thank you both for coming, okay?
Thank you for inviting us.
All right. So you guys have heard the topic. Is tolerance in workplace, is it beneficial or is it harmful? So we'll begin with definition of terms. Now the reason for this very discussion is every individual on earth actually has a workspace. It depends on where it is you are working. You can be working in the house, you could be working in an office, wherever it is that is your workplace. Now there are people that you get to have personal relationship or work relationship with. Now we want to check it out to see if this relationship, if tolerating is actually harmful with human beings that you work with. Tolerating these human beings in your workspace, is it harmful or is it beneficial? So first of all, I'll begin with you, Ms. Ju. What do you understand by tolerance in workspace? Okay,
so if I'm to say, I would say tolerance is the ability to take in either a negative aspect of an employee or the positive aspect of it, depending on the contents. Because I don't believe that all these things should be accepted. So negative and positive.
Okay, so tolerance. So when we say tolerance in workspace,
is the ability to understand and tolerate your workers.
All right, then. Thank you very much. Should it be just your workers or people you work with?
People, both ways. People you work with or people that works for you as well.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jerry. Do you have anything to say?
Well, I would put tolerance simply as your ability to accommodate different aspects of a person or different aspect of your working environment. So in an extension, I would say if someone always comes to work late, you're the one in charge of maybe that person, maybe the immediate superior, or there is something that is not working well, but you need that thing to work. You're supposed to make report for it to get done or corrected or repaired and all stuff. Sometimes it may not come as fast as you want it. The person may not respond to the criticism that you might give the person.
Exactly.
Or the correction that you might make. So the person may do an outburst. But some people may feel like, well, I'm your superior or I'm the one in charge, so it means I have that veto power, if I could use the word, to discipline you just right off. But to be able to tolerate someone means you should be able to accommodate certain behaviors of the person, but clearly to some extent, because you have an account to render to someone who is also above you. If you allow them to sweep at you anyhow, you'll be facing the consequences of their actions towards your superior.
Exactly.
So the ability to accommodate certain tendencies from people around you, even people outside your workspace. That's how I would define tolerance.
Now, should workspace tolerate all behaviors, even if it compromises productivity?
No,
definitely not.
Definitely not, because if you should tolerate all,
You do know that some of this tolerance has to do with people that put in maximum productivity, maximum. Yes. Do you understand the English I'm speaking? So, someone that, let's say, you have a company. Let's not make it simple.
Okay.
I want us to go deep. So you have, let's say this is your company, and then you have a staff that has generated almost half of that very company. Yeah, almost half of what you already have as the owner of that very company.
Sorry, if I get you right, if when you say generate, you mean in helping in terms of finances or in terms of
finances? As a worker that I am, I am putting in effort to ensure that your company stands. So let's say I've given you, like, the effort I've put in has generated almost half, of what you already have. So let's say your input is just like, say, 7%, but I've given you, like, say, 93% already.
Okay.
So should we tolerate that person in workspace?
No man is an island.
If you do not tolerate the person, you end up losing.
No man is an island. Once you're not there, other people are there to replace you. So I cannot tolerate your excesses.
So you rather start from afresh?
There's no way I will start from afresh. This is already the building has already started. I don't know if you get me. It's there to stay, either with you there or you're not there. As long as the business is still going on, if one person leave and I still have backup, there's not just one employee I have. I should have many backups. When this one is not available, other people are there. That's why they have assistants. Okay, assistant director and assistant director. Do you understand? Once the main person is not there, there's somebody who have been learning from this person can take place. So if you think that maybe you're now feeling too big because you have invested in this, or you're investing in me, I'm investing in you.
There are people that have secrets to your company.
That's why it comes with more like, say, before terms and condition before you can work with me. Okay, I'll give you terms and conditions. At least you have to sign that whatsoever that happens in this company must not leave the company. Once it leaves the company, I'll hold you responsible. It's either you go to jail for it. So most of the things that are happening in my let's say in my establishment must be there. Then outside, everything I want to do outside is different. I don't care. That's the reason why I said you must not tolerate. Let's say in this aspect now, you will see co-workers fighting themselves over maybe position and all those things. But due to envy and some kind of, you see them backstabbing themselves, all because they want to get. So, but once you notice that this person is a black sheep between these people, you take them off. Even if the person is giving you maybe the person is a pillar, but I don't believe anybody.
I feel like this thing is just word though, because when it comes to the field of play, I don't think you're ready to take that chances.
I don't know if we've all watched the movie Suits before.
No,
we can see the character of Harvey. He has more clients coming into this law firm.
Okay.
He has more clients coming in, so he has more leverage with certain things he will do. The other big lawyer there is called Louis Litt. He has more billable hours, which means when we talk about working within the company to generate income, he also has more. But when it came to a situation where the senior pastor was supposed to make a choice, he chose the one who brings in more clients, because money has to come in for the payment to be made.
Exactly.
That is just on the side.
Okay.
So there are certain tendencies that she may tolerate for the other person who brings in more clients than this one. But when it comes to saving the firm, he puts the two of them under the table.
Oh.
So you see, he can tolerate this person based on this factor.
Based on what you're bringing to the table.
Exactly. Tolerate the other person based on a particular factor. But when it comes to look into the bigger picture, which is the whole firm, he puts all of them at their place. Let me put it that way. So anything that inhibits productivity and efficiency, it is not good. Sometimes the tolerance you are giving to the excess of the other person is going to lower the morale for other people. Because if I'm looking at you as a role model, you can be good 99% professionally, but it may be that just one factor that you have, which is part of your personal life or your personal growth, that may not go well with me. Imagine you are somebody, when I come, you smile at me, you teach me, you do everything, but you like shouting on me. You'll be surprised just that one thing you do, which is the shouting, might disrupt every other thing you've done for me.
Exactly.
Or you have been teaching me. So there are certain excesses that you can't tolerate.
Even from the boss itself, yes. As a worker, there are something things you don't even tolerate from your boss.
So you can't compromise even as a boss?
Compromise doesn't go to the detriment of the standard. She said something. If it's my company, I started somewhere. Surely you didn't start with me, or you didn't invest with me.
Yes.
Even if you did as a partner, it means we have responsibilities. You have a role to play, I have a role.
Yeah.
If yours is disrupting my part or the whole business, I have to question you.
Of course.
That's why I said early on that there's an accountability I have to my superior, and you also have an accountability to me. So if what you are doing is going to impede on the growth of my business or whatever, I need to put you in place. Definitely, I may not start giving you discipline, actions, and all that at once. We would have the conversation. There are procedures I would want to follow at first before getting to the stage where when I can't, then I just let you.
And that most especially, that's why it's good for an employer to be well known to his business, to our business. Make sure you know the corners of all your businesses. Don't leave it to one person. Every specialties that you have in your firm, your establishment, make sure you are once in a while you go through them to be able to be like adjust and know what maybe this person is not there. You can be able to take place and say, okay, since this person is not there, let me just cover in for that person. You have to be versatile. Don't be.
So from what you guys are saying now, it means
example, I do producing. Apart from that, I do newscasting and I do presenting. In my department, there is no specific task in my department that I can't do. It is a training I decided to give myself, because as a producer, it's just like when you're cooking. The salt has to go at a particular time, the pepper and the rest. Yeah. So if I feel like, well, this person is the one who puts in the salt, this person is the one who puts in the pepper, if they are not there, they cannot cook. No. So like she said, if you are an owner of a business, an entrepreneur, you have to know, even if not to perfection, every role that anyone plays, you have to know how their job is done, and even sometimes partake in it.
Yeah, that takes a very long time for such mastering to be done.
It is your business. Those people.
Rome was not built in a day.
Exactly.
Rome was not built. You have to be patient enough to. No establishment stands within a year. Even no establishment stands firmly within 5 years.
Sometimes you'll be surprised. Those big ones we look up to, they borrow money.
Of course, you think they are stable, but they are not.
Wait, let's come back a bit. What leads to an employer or an employee to decide to want to initiate tolerance as a method of attitude in a workspace?
Okay. I would say, if I'm an employer and I allow tolerance in my workspace, is because I want to have an open communication. You should feel free enough to tell me things, to me, myself, your boss, if possible, if I'm wrong. So if there is open communication, and that communication is limited to, as she said, if you take my secret beyond the company, I can sue you or you go to jail. If I allow the space where we can all discuss things and it stays there, it means we can respect each other. For example, I told you I don't know how to put this microphone on. Right. You are the only one I told. It's like I'm communicating my weakness to you or difficulty to you. You teach me how to do it. She doesn't need to know. Even if she's our employer, she doesn't need to know. And when I do that, it means I have given you that much respect for you to give me the assistance I need. In the same context, if you do something I dislike and I criticize you, come to me and we can talk about it. If you feel you may not be able to contain your anger or whatever excesses you have because of the criticism, you can approach her maybe in a way that when she comes to me, it will be calm enough for us to have that conversation.
Exactly.
So I can tolerate certain things to a certain point. But if you don't communicate that to me, I will never know that there is that issue. She said something about people backstabbing each other. It's because sometimes there's no open communication within the space, and also respect for each other.
Mr. Joe, what do you have to say about that?
Okay, we all have heard of the roles, it says roles of management, the management roles, right? And when it comes to that, they have their own different priorities. Yes, so I believe that once you go through all those things, one, communication skills between you as an employer and your employees, friendly environment where everybody will be able to open up to you, be able to come to you. Not let it not be in a position whereby, okay, now I'm a boss, I'm feeling so high up the mount that okay, no employee should come even close to me. Okay, now in this aspect, you now have to put your foreman in the front. Let them be the one to come and start. Like it should be, you should be able to have communication with your employees, even if they are lower you. Don't be surprised that even your gatesman can help you one day.
Exactly. I mean, he opens the door for you.
Yes, he knows more than you that owns the company. He knows what goes in and what goes out. So be able to give a tolerance to everybody in the company.
Okay, so what leads to an abuse of that tolerance?
It is when it's misinterpreted or...
How does it get misinterpreted? Because every company has its policy, right? Has a standard. There are most people you employ that can't read and write. So some of them don't go through that policies to even be able to understand that, oh, if you default this, you go this, or you're sacked or fired as the case is. So how do we get to that point where it's been abused?
Okay.
She spoke about when you're in position. That is a very clear factor most people have. The other thing is the example you give about the person not being able to read and write. I may not know from the beginning, but once I know, I have to put a corrective measure to that policy. If it is going to be an audio, if you go to bank, sometimes you see them playing some videos and whatever. Someone who cannot see will hear.
Yeah.
Somebody who cannot hear will see.
Exactly.
If sometimes we go, I think it got to some time before I noticed that sometimes they even tell the security guys, or if it's a woman, some of the few things. If somebody wants to change a SIM card, this is where you go. Those kind of instructions. Initially, you're supposed to go to the counter before you get those information. So definitely, if there's an issue somewhere, or there's a gap in terms of productivity somewhere, somebody will have to fill in that gap. If the problem doesn't occur, we may not necessarily know how to provide a solution to it.
Okay.
So somebody in power can equally abuse, because the person feels, without me, you can't get into the company, you can't get this position, you can't do this.
Right.
So that is why somebody may abuse. Sometimes ignorance is also one of the things that can let people abuse their power. Imagine the same situation where you said the person hasn't read the policy.
Yes.
It means I can tell you whatever is inside because you haven't read it. So I can abuse you in that essence too. Ignorance is part, and then sometimes position or authority. Somebody has too much power, the person can equally abuse.
Okay. So I can also say over familiarity.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Over familiarity. Look, and let's say I have an establishment.
I disrespect as well.
Yes, that's why I'm sorry to say this. If you have a business, don't employ your family members on it.
Unless it's a family business.
I'm not trying to be.
Are you kidding me right now?
No, I'm not trying to be so mean.
I mean, sorry, let me cut you short. You continue shortly. There's a Jamaican restaurant that is actually in US. Yeah. Do you know that the business was first of all in Jamaica, run by the whole family? The whole family. The brother actually started business. Now they sell literally all Jamaican food, and they sell it very good. So people actually knew them. Some people come from all the way from US all the way to Jamaica to buy the food. Now they started from there. They moved from Jamaica to US. Their customers from there also moved and followed them. And they were buying the food. That's to show you how good the food is. Now this business is run by the whole family.
Okay.
What do you have to say about that?
That one is a different thing. It's a family trade. We started this together. I started this alone, inviting my family to come and join me. You will not know how I suffered it. Yes. You want to take advantage of the fact that I'm your elder or I'm your family. So you want to come and take advantage of everything that's happening there.
Real?
It's real.
Funny thing, when I was in,
it's very very real.
One of my teachers, they were twins actually. They were telling us that when they finish the school at their teaching, when they go back home, their mom has a store, so they used to stay in the store. If you take one biscuit, you pay.
That's rude.
It's not.
No. See, sometimes you have to be in that to smell it.
Business stands very well when family members are paying money.
Yes.
Because if you decide to say, okay, on this, okay, you can take. Don't worry. Tomorrow, give me the money. Tomorrow, you will not give. Say, okay, don't worry. Now we win. Now I will still give you. Your business. You see your business crumbling, coming down. And
the other thing too is that sometimes the annoying part is, even if as we are acquainted, you come to me, I give you a discount. Then person you are bringing to me, the person can be your friend. That person becomes me my customer or client. So you cannot expect me to give the person the same discount I give you.
Exactly.
Which is why when you come out, I can tell you the thing I'm selling for 20k, but for you, I'll give it to you 15 or 17k. I've given you the actual price. When you are going to tell the person, you're supposed to tell the person 25 or 20k. So when the person comes in, if I step it down, it advantage me, and also you are helping me build that. Exactly. But most of the time, we don't do that. Okay. We want to give the person a lower price, say we feel like we bought it or we bargained very well.
And still, that person will not be, he or she will not acknowledge the fact that you're doing
something good.
They'll still see that that is cheaper than this thing.
Exactly.
They not sure,
but you never send it to go and buy it.
You see how people take advantage of things.
So to you, employing family in a business it's risky.
I'm not saying for you. I'm not saying it's not, but it's risky. Just be sure that 60% of your establishment is going to go down. Because at one, you're going to say, I'm taking this likely because of it's you. Something that you might not tolerate from somebody else that you employed. Exactly. You will tolerate it from somebody who is your family member. So in order for me not to cover my face, not to talk to you directly, I would rather employ. Let me be paying you on the monthly allowance. I know, yes, maybe it's just 10% from my working this I'm giving to you as a family member. But for you to come into my establishment and want to come and destroy you're going out.
Now, there's something I want to ask briefly. So it's very necessary to actually instill discipline on the workers you have to avoid unnecessary expenditures, right?
Yeah.
It's very, very necessary. I don't know if you understand my questions. You know, there are bosses that, first of all, this question is in two phases. There are bosses that, they compromise.
Sometimes they are probably lenient, not.
Yes, they are.
For compromise, you have to do the act before.
Yes. Exactly, they are lenient, and at the end of the day, your business is crumbling. They tell you, "Oh, don't worry." You see somebody comes, let's say your staff, the person you employ, the person, "Oh, sell this thing for me." For the first day, the person takes biscuits. and you guys are doing account, you say, oh madam, I took biscuits, I'll pay tomorrow. He did not pay.
But your salary is in my hands now.
Sometimes wait, it's not about the salary.
Okay.
Sometimes once that person is taking that, you might not even be able to make up that money to pay or that don't talk of that person.
And sometimes you're not even aware of it. You just notice that you just come the one day to do account, and a packet of either wafers or this one is it has finished, and account for how this is sold, it's not been accounted for. So now the question is it very, very important regards to the fact that tolerance is something that is very much inevitable in workspace? Is it very much important to actually instill discipline, not only personally but also in terms of policy implementation in the company? Like, make it a policy that disciplines, as in the workers must be disciplined towards some certain act or towards a
funny thing. I just brush back on something. Most of the time when we are writing CVs, we don't put discipline inside. Exactly. I just noticed that, like, off my head. Right. And sometimes we feel when we put that, it means, for example, if I say I'm disciplined on my CV, maybe my employer might decide to, I don't know, trick me or per se put a trap for me to see if I can withhold or I can withstand whatever the person is going to trap me with. Because for some people, when you say discipline, it means no matter what, you wouldn't do that. But we are human beings. I can flip or I can, fall off at certain points.
Change is constant.
Exactly. But discipline is important. I oftentimes say you have to discipline yourself first. If you want to work in a company and you are really somebody who wants to look forward, you don't forecast for 3 months, 6 months. But there are some people, that's how they forecast. Until I get maybe 200,000 CFA, I'm done with the work. So within those space of time, they will work best, and after that, they just start doing something.
Right.
But there are certain people, they are looking at from maybe when I'm just a cleaner I just come and clean a shop and go. The next thing I want to do, I want to be the one selling. The next thing I want to be the cashier. The next thing I want to be the manager. That is somebody who has a focus. So with such a person, there will be a level of discipline you will not see in the other people.
That's true.
Do you know at sometimes you don't even have to tell your workers about discipline. But do you know, do you ever consider this? You go into a shop and you see cameras all over it.
Yes.
Do you think it's just for the customers they're putting it there?
It's
they're
for
also
the staff.
putting it for the staff to monitor them. Because sometimes you think it's the customers that are stealing things.
You won't know it's
your workers. So for you to be that brilliant, you not it's okay, let's just put my camera here and there and see you yourself being the employee. You might not be there, but at least you're there. Some workers are Jesus. They are bad than the main. It's not funny.
Are you kidding me?
Like I saw on TikTok one that a lady who works at the place, but once she was about to leave, she stuck in perfume, roll-ons, and all things all inside her body. As an employee. Do you understand? So I believe for them to catch that person, that's not her first time. The owner of the establishment, the owner of the shop have noticed that something is definitely wrong. So they had to like put a camera. One thing I noticed that they don't even used to tell the employees that
that there's a camera somewhere.
Leave them, let them just. You are the owner of your shop now. You can just come in, place it where nobody will see. Then the person will still come and still fumble. Some people will still know that there's camera there. They'll still fumble. It's in their DNA. So no need of you say if you tolerate too much, your establishment will definitely fall.
Okay, lastly, before we go, we're almost wrapping up. Sajeri, you made mention of the fact that if you have any as an employee, you have any challenge, you have anything bothering you, the reason for the tolerance is you can actually meet the boss and then talk to him and all that, right? I hope you know there are some boss that, or there are boss that are very childish. You meet them and then you talk to them about, oh sir, this is what it's happening and I'm very much uncomfortable with it. Eyes is being placed on you. 2-3 months later, you're being fired for negligence or for not doing your jobs properly, as the case is. Now, the reason for that is because you brought something up. Okay. Right? So even when you talk, there's this thing called suggestion box. There are suggestion boxes in place of work and all that. People make it very much. They tell you to put this in a place where there's no camera. Even in school, when my school introduced it, they were like, remove it from where the camera is so that we're not going to put something. You come and start tracing the person. Let alone someone like coming confidently to tell you as a boss that, oh sir, I noticed that so person isn't working well, or your company is draining because I feel like you're not doing this or doing that. As a boss, you feel like your ego has been insulted.
Please.
Like I said, there are people that are childish.
Okay.
Let's start from there. Okay. There are people that are childish that don't really understand what it means to actually air out opinions.
There is this word that says watch and keep quiet.
You see? So
Wait,
there's no...
hold on.
Okay.
I'm not saying for you to keep quiet totally.
Right.
Sometimes you have to monitor your ground, know where you are, the level you are in that company or with your workers, your boss, before you be able to air in your voice. Sometimes this is how they say right to speech is a lie. It's on some people, not for everybody.
Not for everybody.
Freedom of speech is not for everybody. It's for some certain people. You know, you say okay because they say freedom of speech, you want to now go and air your own view to somebody you don't know. Okay, now let's imagine. Okay, I'm working. We are both working in the same place right now, and you never knew I was dating your boss.
Right.
Now I am taking the advantage of that. You don't know the reason why I'm doing the things I'm doing. Do you understand? But now you want to go and tell my boss, okay, let's go and tell our boss this person is doing this and all those things. Yeah, you have done it. He will still come and tell me, this person did say. That's where I will now be the one now to come and do things that are going to sack you.
Exactly.
You don't have to be, because now the news have also gotten to me that yes, you're the one who did this. So definitely I'm going to fight you thick and thin anywhere, anything to just make sure that they sack you, because it seems that you are now poking your nose onto my own affairs.
Exactly.
Sometimes too, on a fair basis, they say you don't wash your dirty laundries outside anyways. You the one coming to report to me. Doesn't
are you pure?
Exactly.
Exactly.
So there's that aspect you need to look at. I'm not saying you need to be a saint before. I want to give a situation. I've worked at a place where I do more work than another person, but the person gets paid more than me. Anytime I'm going to ask for a salary increment, I never mention that. My reason simply is because it is not my place to mention that. My cry is for my salary to be increased,
exactly.
not to point out that someone is getting more than I do.
Exactly.
If I have any issue with that person not performing his job, maybe 1, 2, 3, I'll speak with the person. If there's an immediate superior, I'll talk to the person. If they don't take any action, I might go overboard of that person to talk to the next person. My point is to relay it. I'm not going to tell what disciplinary action, because some people go to that extent
to do it,
of doing that.
Right.
The other aspect of it is that if just because you are given that room to come and do the suggestion box thing doesn't mean you should do it.
I won't even write.
It's not because the road is made to walk anywhere.
Exactly.
So it is a tricky situation. You have to be very careful. She said something about your environment. You need to know your environment before you can do that. Maybe me, I wouldn't want you come to me. And sometimes when you come to me, maybe ask somebody who is also looking at what you are saying. I'll observe first.
To be sure.
When I observe, I may not take action immediately. You might be thinking, I told this person, I've not seen these changes and stuff. Maybe I'm trying to protect you, so it wouldn't seem as if you came to tell me. So I might take some time before I start enacting the action. Sometimes the action I will put in will not be targeted towards that person you inform me on. It will probably be in form of a policy that applies to everybody. So you yourself, you are not exempted.
Okay. Now it actually takes wisdom for this to happen.
I worked at a place where we used to write. I once worked at a place where we used to write like time of arrival. So there's this one particular employer. Maybe her this thing is more higher than me. She started the work before me, so she's fond of, if she comes, let's say she comes 7:30, she will write 7:20 or 7:10, and this thing have been happening the thing used to piss me off.
God, right?
So one day I supposedly immediately she was entering the gate, I entered the gate with her. She wrote 7:20. No, if you know it's 7:30, immediately she wrote 7:20. I wrote 7:20 as well. I was like 7:20. So no, now when she came back and saw that I wrote 7:20, she was not able to tell me that you came 7:30.
See,
immediately the bike, immediately bike was dropping you, my own bike was dropping me. It's just like I said,
I won't be like.
I used to say, but I cannot tell. I cannot go and tell this person used to do, because she's the one who she will be the one to calculate the money. If you come late, she's the one who always reduce the money.
Oh wow!
Yes, okay. She's in charge of that. But whenever she comes late, she never puts such thing down. That day I said, today I've catch you red-handed. I will not say, but if you come and say that you come 7:30, I will say you come 7. The same time I came, you came. But when she looked at me and she saw, I didn't even look at me. I just walked in with my face all this thing, and she did not bring it up.
Funny thing,
she did not.
I've also worked at a place, a media house anyways. So what they do, it's not even the coming time, it's when they leave. They usually leave before time. But because they come in the morning, normally there's a security person that's supposed to check when you're writing this, but they don't, you become too used to the thing that you don't really pay attention. Right. So they write the time they leave. So one day the book was there, but they informed the staff that they were supposed to thumb print, because that one they scans with your ID and everything. The person came to do it but still forgot to write the correct, because the log has recorded but he wrote a different time in the book. Because if when you are used to something you don't think. Right. You wrote the wrong time there and the thing was recorded. Oh, no. The M&E didn't say anything, waited like a month or two. They wanted to see if it is a habit or is it something, an oversight that he was doing. By the time he realized, the money kept reducing. Before they came to tell him this was why.
It's reducing.
Because with his mind, it's just to show presence. He doesn't know the thing was keeping log of your time and everything.
Alright guys, we've actually come to the end of today's show. Thank you both very much for coming. Sajari, you've done well. You've done justice. Miss Uju, you guys did justice to this very particular topic. Now, they are not saying that we're not what's the word? Is it overrating or overriding tolerance in workspace? Actually, it's okay to tolerate, but then instill discipline even while at it. So at the end of the day, your business does not end up crumbling. But regardless, however it is you're doing it, like Mr. Juju said, sometimes it's better to keep quiet and observe things. Or if you must talk, do it anonymously. You can hide behind the door and do it. You know, that kind of thing. Alright guys, shout out to our amazing producers. One of them is sitting here, Mr. Jerry Tonam. We have Mr. Christian Obani Kwa, exactly, and then we have Monsieur Yengal. This are amazing, producer for the lifestyle show. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us for the show today. Until we come your way next week, stay blessed, stay safe. Plenty love from me to you. Bye bye.